1, 2, check 1, 2. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all. I have a great show set up for y'all today. Today in Lead Stories, we are going to be going inside Jeffrey Epstein's camera roll. And let me tell you, it's like looking inside of darkness. And also in our second lead story, we're going to cover the Jay-Z fallout intensifying as the backlash from being named in Jeffrey Epstein file grows. Also in quick news, we're going to talk Bill and Hillary Clinton, Bad Bunny, judge blocking Donald Trump, Don Lemon. Is Epstein still alive? Serena Williams, the deputy AG, Elon Musk, Sheri Shepherd, Kelly Clarkson, Sheri Shepherd and Kelly Clarkson. We're going to change up things a little bit today. We are going to go to the comment section right after quick news. And then after quick news, we're going to go to lesson of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on. We made it through Monday, and I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right. Welcome. What's up? What up? Welcome to everybody who is tuning in live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Kick. We're able to start the Instagram right at the beginning of the show. Still getting used to all of this liveness, but welcome. And like I said at the top, y'all know I start getting excited on a Tuesday because that means we all made it through Monday and we're here, and hump day is just right around the corner. All right. So I'm in a great mood. As always, I have a good show ready for you guys. And like I said at the top, I've decided to make a small change to the order. And normally after quick news, we'll go to social discussion or lesson of the day or question of the day, and then go to comments. I think it's better just to keep the feeling and the energy while we're talking about subjects. I'm gonna go right to the comments right after question of the day. Sorry, right after quick news. So it'll be lead stories, quick news, comments. I'll go talk with you guys back and forth, whoever wants to say whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we will go to lesson of the day, and then we'll sign out. All right, let's see how that goes. All right, to kick things off, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start off with Jeffrey Epstein's camera roll. And yes, it's redacted. Don't worry, you're not going to see anything that's going to make it uneasy. But I think that's probably what makes it even worse, because when you look at the stuff that's redacted, you literally just have to go into your imagination and think what is behind this redactedness. And it's just disturbing. The beginning of this that I'm going to play for you, it starts out with Jeffrey Epstein, and he's looking at his camera roll and he's looking in his mouth, and it's just sores, and it's just disturbing. And the last video, or the last frame in the video, it's redacted, and you see a teddy bear there, and it's just like this music in the background, and it's just really hard to watch. But I think it's really important, and that's why there were so many people in Congress and so many people also in the public that really wanted these things out so that we could see how disturbed this man was, and then obviously to give vindication to the victims, and hopefully get some more people arrested. So the more that we talk about this, the more we put it in their face, the more that people will protest, call into Congress, etc. And hopefully there'll be more arrests. I literally just heard right before I got on air that there's somebody in England, the first person that they're launching an investigation and or charges since the release of this file. Hopefully there will be more. Okay. All right. So let's just kick things off with this video of Jeffrey Epstein's camera roll. Take a look. What you're about to see is the inside of darkness. The inside of Jeffrey Epstein's camera roll is the last camera roll I ever wanted to see. And here's why. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, I got to skip that music. Sorry. Hold on. Very sorry about that, guys. Okay. This is the last clip here. That last one with the teddy bear gives me chills. We'll talk about. All right, sorry about that. I forgot I had to cut out the that last section there because the music will be copywritten on YouTube. But you could check out more of that video on our YouTube page, The Trend Out Loud Show. Like I said, deeply disturbing. However, we have at least one good thing that has come out of this is there was one person that is charged and hopefully will be convicted. Hopefully we'll see some people in the US going down. We also have in quick news, Bill and Hillary Clinton are agreeing to testify in the House Epstein probe. So hopefully things will come of that. Okay. All right. Now let's go over to the Jigga Man, Mr. Jay-Z. For those who watched yesterday's show, we kind of did a deep dive and brought everybody up to speed. What's going on? For those of you who don't know, Jay-Z was in the Epstein files, and I'm using an air quote, on Friday. And of course, over the weekend, there was immense backlash and it just spilled into Monday. And now I have some more news for you guys. To be fair, to do my due diligence, for those who may not know, Jay-Z was not in the files, in the court files. He was named in an FBI hotline from an unknown person that just called in and said, hey, I was in a place with Harvey Weinstein and I woke up. Jay-Z was in the room also too while Harvey Weinstein was doing some crazy things. It has not been proven. It has not been investigated. It's not corroborated, but Jay-Z is technically inside the Epstein files, but not in the actual court documents. He was never investigated. And like I said, those accusations were not even looked into. Now, that was a big thing over the weekend. Some people are like, oh, everyone's just trying to hate on Jay or whatever. My bigger question is, if you actually have that tip from a hotline, why wasn't it investigated? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the question that more people should be asking. Why has it not been investigated? And I know not every single tip in the world can be investigated, but I would have liked to have seen like, hey, this tip came in and we chose not to investigate it for this reason, or we are going to investigate it. That to me is the bigger question. But like I said, I wanted to give you guys a follow-up because things have gotten worse. And I said yesterday that, things are looking very bad for Jay-Z. We talked about the fallout with Beyonce, and she lost 10 million followers, potential brand deals. And for those who have been following me for months or even in 2025, I have brought up a lot of chitter chatter that I have heard of Jay-Z and Beyonce potentially getting a divorce or separated all the way back from when Jay-Z got that court case with Tony Busby, with Jane Doe, and then also, just everything that's going on with Rock Nation. They're allegedly cash broke, and Jay-Z had to remortgage their home in Beverly Hills to liquefy $50 million to put into Rock Nation because Rock Nation as a company is not doing well. And that puts a strain on any relationship, any marriage or any relationship. Money issues, they say, is the number one cause for divorce. So you have the Jane Doe, you have Rock Nation not doing well, you have immense Jay-Z backlash. And now again, there's another indication that Jay-Z might be doing something wrong. First it was Diddy, then it's, speculations with Rock Nation, and now you're in the Epstein files. I know it's just a hotline, but that's got to put a strain on any marriage. So things are just looking really bad. Like I said, I want to give you guys a follow-up. So I have 7 things that I want to follow up here. One, we talked about Jay-Z over the weekend and Rock Nation, and this is not alleged. We know that there has been stories about Jay-Z posted and talking about the Epstein files on the Shade Room, taken down, the TMZ taken down. Now, the alleged was it Jay-Z calling in and Rock Nation saying, hey, can you take this down? We don't know, but I don't know how many blog posts put things up and take them down without somebody calling. So was it taken down? Yes. Was it alleged because Jay-Z called in? That's a thing we don't know. But like I said yesterday, to me, the bigger issue is not the mainstream media, because we know mainstream media is over. All the news now is ran by new media. YouTubers, content creators, TikToks. I am myself going viral on TikTok right now. It's at 500,000 views on a 1.5-minute clip that we did on Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay's not calling to shut that down. That's 500,000 people. On Instagram, that same video is at close to 200,000. So just with me alone, I'm already at like 1 million views. Times that by 1,000 other content creators. The days of being able to control the narrative are gone. So I did a little bit of a deep dive, and almost every single content creator or YouTuber that I know has a video up of Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they all have talked about Nicki Minaj and her Twitter rant that she did the night of the Grammys, and they have spoke about it. I would say most of them did their due diligence like me, saying, hey, it's an FBI tip line. It's not a conviction. It's not criminal charges, but they're still talking about it. And like I said yesterday, when you are a brand, advertisers don't want to work with you when people are talking. They don't care if you're convicted or not. The fact that they're talking about you is not good. And especially they're talking about you in the Epstein files is really not good. So that is it. Jay-Z cannot stop mainstream. Tasha K, which I know people are going to say she's on the fence and she's biased, but Tasha K did an interview that she posted last night with Liz Corkin. I'm pronouncing the name right. Sorry for my dyslexia. But in that interview, she talked about Kathy White. And Kathy White, oh, by the way, Liz Corkin was at like USA Today and US Weekly. And she's been around for like 20 or 25 years in like gossip columns and entertainment. She's like a pioneer, some would say. And she has been credited as one of the first gossip journalists to break the stories about Jay-Z and a lot of the things that he's been doing. And one of the things that she talks about is Kathy White. Now, Kathy White is Jay-Z's alleged mistress that he got pregnant. And all of a sudden, like Kim Porter with Diddy, she got pneumonia and she's no longer here. Now, it's alleged that he got her pregnant. Of course, he was with Beyonce. He didn't want her to have the baby because that's not going to look well. Him and Beyonce has already been publicized. And apparently Liz Corkin had broke that story. So y'all can do your research on Kathy White. But my point is that that's just yet another story on another YouTube account that Jay-Z and Rock Nation can take down. Now, I played a clip for you yesterday where a content creator was breaking stuff down. I want to play another one for you that it might have some of the content in, but I just wanted to play this for you because this is a little bit of an update. All right, take a listen.
That's happened to Jay-Z since he's been exposed in the you-know-what files. Let's start off with Beyonce because she's lost 10 million followers on Instagram, going from 318 to 308 million. That's not all because Beyonce's mother, Tina Knowles, also unfollowed Jay-Z on Instagram, along with Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, Kelly Rowland, and many others. It's pretty crazy that Apple Music unfollowed Jay-Z. I mean, even the NFL unfollowed him, and keep in mind, he helps organize the halftime show, so he's got a big partnership with them. Now, I don't know if Jay-Z has fled the country. I do see a bunch of viral posts claiming that he has, but no major networks are reporting on this. If he did flee the country, that looks pretty guilty. You guys are probably wondering what's actually in the files, and in the file, there is an account from a woman who had claimed that she had a horrible experience. I mean, I don't know what I can say here on TikTok, but the worst thing you could imagine in your mind happened with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z present. What do you guys think in the comments below?
Okay. So again, that's just another example of something like another content creator. That video maybe has 1 million or 2 million views. So I'm sure the impressions with Jay-Z and Beyonce are probably in the billions. Okay. Now, like I said, we knew some of those names yesterday. I told you guys about Beyonce, and the update here is Tina Knowles. That's Beyonce's mom. Beyonce's mom is unfollowing Jay-Z on Instagram? And y'all want me to just sit down here and be like, oh, it's just an FBI hotline? Yo, Tina Knowles unfollowed Jay-Z. Kim Kardashian, we told you about that yesterday. Rihanna, we told you about that yesterday. Kelly Rowland, Destiny's Child, is unfollowing Jay-Z? Jay-Z loves Kelly Rowland. Y'all remember that video when he saw her at like some premiere or whatever, and he like was like, oh my And they were like, yo, that girls will repost it and be like, yo, if my man is not happy like this to see my girlfriend, I don't want him. Like they have a great relationship. She unfollowed Jay-Z. And there has been many other celebrities. And like we told you yesterday, Apple Music, who sponsors the NFL halftime show, and the NFL has unfollowed Jay-Z. It is mounting, it's intensifying, and the fallout is real. It was speculative over the weekend. Monday, we saw fallout. And today, Tuesday, it's intensifying. And Super Bowl is on Sunday. Now, yesterday, I made a comment about Jay-Z going to the Super Bowl. And I was like, yo, he is in a bind. Should Jay-Z show up at the Super Bowl? Really, he shouldn't, because if he gets booed, if he gets yelled, whatever, it's going to make things worse. Everybody's going to get online and say, yo, Jay-Z booed at the Super Bowl. And that is going to solidify to brands and advertisers, yo, the Carters are over. If they get booed in the public, okay, we're talking about it on social media. There's comments. If they get physical confirmation, it is done. They will lose every single sponsorship. Beyonce's tour is done. Her third album for the trilogy from dance, country, and what we think is going to be a rock album, all that will be done if they show up to the Super Bowl and get booed. But now on the flip side, how could they not show up? They've been to every single Super Bowl. They were just not at the Grammys. They're pretty much at every Grammy. They're known to have the Rock Nation brunch. Some could argue, well, she wasn't nominated for anything, so okay, they're not there. But how could Jay-Z not show up to the Super Bowl, a halftime show that Rock Nation has put on, has broken records for? How could he not show up? This is going to be tough. Now, I say all of that to say what I have up on the screen right here is a Twitter account that says TikTok, Jay-Z has reportedly left the U.S. to an undisclosed destination. He's gone full Diddy. That kind of really doesn't make sense because Diddy didn't run anywhere, but whatever. I just think that is really crazy and really telling, okay? Now, let's move on to Harvey Weinstein. And this is really, really interesting and I think really important. Now, I would say maybe 20% of the comments are the naysayers saying, y'all will just believe anything. Y'all just want to hate Jay-Z. And I can understand where some of them are coming from. Then there's people who want to debunk stuff like this happened in 1996. Jay-Z only put out Reasonable Doubt, his first album, in 1996. How could he be at Epstein's house? How could he be hanging out with Harvey Weinstein? And I understand that is questionable. But I will say, like what I said yesterday, is Jay has been cool with Big and Puff from before his album came out. Y'all know that was Big's man, Brooklyn's finest. All right. So it's not like Jay-Z was like, I don't know, like a breakout artist that nobody heard of and he just was on here. He was known. However, even if he wasn't known, and even if the hotline was just complete BS, y'all know how I like to argue. Let's give everybody what they want to say. Everybody knew in Hollywood before Harvey was arrested the type of dude he was. Like, it was known. Just like yesterday, how we talked, everybody knew about R. Kelly. And ironically, one of R. Kelly's, one of the girls in R. Kelly's videos actually came out and sat down with ABC News today. But my point is that everybody knew what Harvey Weinstein was about. Jay-Z was homies with Harvey Weinstein. And somebody put online, like, yo, let's say that he wasn't with him in 96. They still have a question of why were you so tight with such a sleazebag? And somebody went and took a screenshot of Google's first page of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein. And they're like, yo, this is just the first page. So I went to Google and I put in Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, and I just kept on scrolling. And there's so many pictures of them. I want to play the video here for you. I could play it as I speak. Because there's no sound to it. But just look at this. Look at the pictures of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein. Just look. Look at how many pictures. Look how many different events. Look how many different outfits. Now, I'm not saying he did anything wrong here. I'm just saying look at the roll. This is just Google. This is just Google. And it just goes on. It goes on for a minute. So this is what people say. You were tight with Diddy. You hung out with R. Kelly. You went on tour with R. Kelly. You did 2 albums, and Harvey Weinstein was your boy. And I also found out today that Harvey Weinstein's brother or business associate put out, I think, a Jay-Z documentary or a Reasonable Doubt documentary, or did some sort of film work with Jay-Z. And again, just to be fair, there's a lot of people that worked with Harvey Weinstein. So I'm not to say that everybody worked with Harvey Weinstein is guilty. No, but when you take the hotline, FBI hotline, when you take the Jane Doe, which was frivolous, but you still hung out with Diddy, you tried to come out with your lawyer, Alex Spiro, and was like, Jay-Z, Sean Carter, and Diddy were just work associates. Bro, stop it. You don't even have to be in hip-hop to know that Jay and Diddy were boys, okay? I could play you 100 interviews with Jay, even like bigging Diddy up. Not even as a businessman, just the fact of him saying, yo, people don't realize how much of a dope producer he was. Okay, so you take the Diddy relationship, you take the R. Kelly 2 albums tour. Yes, they did have a falling out, and I think he kicked him off tour, but he was still cool with him. And Harvey, you could understand why people are like, bro, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? Now, another thing that I saw online was a lot of backlash towards certain outlets that are not really reporting on this Jay-Z story. I don't want to say correctly, but they're choosing what to say and what not to say. And people are saying that that is what is different about new media versus legacy media. And they're feeling like there's some sort of content creators, even in new media, that are bought out by Jay and Rock Nation and or afraid of Rock Nation. And I don't know what truth there is to that. And I'm not even going to name any names, but I will say that I do see some different level of reporting when it does come to Jay-Z and Rock Nation, whether it be Megan Thee Stallion, whether it be the Jane Doe, or whether it be this. I do see some level of difference, as opposed to if Donald Trump would do something that's questionable, it's like, yo, he's done. He's the worst person in the world. Like, you don't need that much on Trump to throw him completely under the bus. But when it's Jay, it's, oh, this is that. Oh, it's just a hotline. And so I kind of agree with a little bit of the questionable reporting. I will say that. And lastly, with the Jigga Man, his son has made an appearance. I shouldn't say his son, sorry. His alleged son has made a reappearance. Now, you guys know that we have been covering all year his alleged son, Ramir, saying that Jay-Z will never take the paternity test, and it got thrown out eventually, I think just a couple of months ago. And I think Jay was kind of like countersuing Ramir, saying, I'm so tired of talking about this. I'm so tired of dealing with you. And I've won in court of every appeal at every level, and now I want my attorney fees. And people were like, you don't really need to do that. But hey, if somebody is suing you that much, I guess you could feel like you could do whatever you want to do. My question in the whole entire Ramir, is it his son or not? Why not just take the test? Like, I don't get it. We've talked at length about rappers, entertainers, basketball players being subject to taking so many paternity tests, it would make your head spin. It's a thing. These guys are with a bunch of girls and it comes up. And the whole thing with Jay-Z and this Ramir, his illegitimate son, is it's not just this could be his son, is that how old his mom was when he was with him. And that's why Jay-Z doesn't want to, of course, take the test, allegedly, because it will come out that, you know, y'all know the Aaliyah and Beyonce whole thing, right? So if I were Jay, the fact that this was so big and being used against me, I would go and take the test and show that I have nothing to hide. Anyways, so Ramir popped out and he put this on Twitter. He says, thanks to Nicki and Mr. President, for your help. Now, again, the case is thrown out, but Nikki, Donald Trump, who knows what they could do? This is the president of the United States. Then he also says, thanks to the Queen, me and Godmom will always have your back. You are a good person. And the write-up is Ramir, a man who spent years saying that he was the son of Jay-Z, is back online making people talk again. This comes after a judge ruled against his side in the long-running paternity and DNA case. The court ruled Ramir's godmother to pay more than $119,000 to cover Jay-Z's legal fees, which I think is wrong, but I understand kind of where Jay-Z's coming from. The judge says the case had already been handled many times and could not move forward anymore. Today, Ramir started posting messages on Twitter that many people found confusing. In his post, he thanked Nicki Minaj and also mentioned Mr. President. He did not explain what kind of help he was talking about. Ramir also reposted messages saying that Nicki Minaj supports him and that she and others have his back. This post made people online wonder if people are getting involved in the quest for Jay-Z's DNA. There is no proof that Nicki Minaj or Donald Trump are helping Ramir with anything. For now, his post remains unclear, but they have brought new attention to a DNA case that courts have already said is closed. We shall see. Could this just be Ramir just jumping on the back of Epstein, Nicki Minaj on Twitter, and he just said something to kind of just get his name back in there? Y'all know how much Nicki Minaj is hating Jay-Z. I think she will do whatever she can. Who knows? Just who knows, okay? All right, so that is the latest with the Jigga Man. I'm sure I will have a little bit more tomorrow as the fallout continues, and the watch for where the heck is Jay-Z? Where is he? All right, let's end life's lead stories now. I got a lot to talk to you guys about in quick news. Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed to testify in the House Epstein probe. So it's going to give us more information, more details, hopefully. Bad Bunny has caused a division amongst NFL players. A judge has blocked Donald Trump from ending temporary status for 350,000 Haitians. Don Lemon was on Jimmy Kimmel Live detailing his arrest. I have some details. I watched the whole entire interview. I have a video to play for you that there's alleged proof in the Epstein files that Epstein might be alive. There's a security guard that says they saw him being rolled out. Serena Williams posts and deletes a new picture. Deputy AG tries to normalize Epstein. Elon Musk is the first person to be worth $800 billion. So weird that he's in the Epstein files talking to Epstein and all that, and he's like the richest person. He'll be the first trillionaire. Just gross. And Sheri Shepherd and Kelly Clarkson's talk show is canceled. All right, so I got a lot of stuff to cover. Let's go to quick news right now. Okay, let's kick things off with Bill and Hillary, because this is really, really important. Here, it's in my phone. Okay. So as you see here, Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed to testify in House Epstein probe ahead of contempt vote. According to reports, Bill and Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify in a House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The Oversight Committee previously advanced contempt resolutions against them, now ahead to the House vote as early as next week. The committee subpoenaed the Clintons in August, along with multiple former attorney general and FBI directors seeking testimony related to Epstein's crimes. Now, while I love to hear this, because as you guys know, I'm independent. I don't trust Democrats. I don't trust Republicans. All right. I stay right here, right in the middle. When each side does something wrong, I'm ready to get them. All right. And whether it be Biden, Clinton, Trump, it doesn't matter to me. Trump, it doesn't matter. I'm about receipts. I'm about facts. I'm about getting retribution for the victims when it comes to this Epstein case. So I'm happy that Bill and Hillary finally broke and they're actually going to come and testify, which I knew they weren't going to let it go to the House because that would just be embarrassing. Now, this is a deposition. It doesn't mean that there's there's charges laid against them. It just means that they will have to sit down and answer a few questions. Now, the details are not finalized yet. There's going to be some kind of pushback, and they're kind of dealing with some things. They want it to be recorded. I'm not too sure if the Clintons have agreed to that or not, but there will be some conditions. Let me tell you something. This is going to be all over social media. This is going to be, especially if the cameras are in there, it's going to be crazy. During a deposition, they could plead the fifth. We'll see what they plead the fifth on. We have seen Jeffrey Epstein plead the fifth when he's like, hey, are you and Donald Trump great friends? Like, I like to plead the fifth. We've seen that happen a lot of times. It's a deposition. It's a lot more lax than, for example, being on trial in a courtroom. So we'll see what comes of that. What I will say, though, is while I don't care who goes down, as long as you're guilty, I want you to go down. I do feel like this is one of the reasons why the Trump administration and the House and the Senate ultimately said, okay, you know what? We can't fight this Epstein thing anymore. We can't block it in the House. We're going to get too much backlash. Let's just put it through the House quickly. I think one person voted no. It didn't even get to the Senate. It was unanimous. Donald Trump, the minute he got it, he signed it. And they are going to use the Epstein files to flip everything and keep Donald Trump and his boys away from it. You're going to hear Jay-Z. You're going to hear Bill Clinton. You're going to hear all of these people. And that is why I'm a little bit upset that they had this Epstein transparency law passed while Donald Trump was in power and had so much power. He has the House, he has the Senate, he has the DOJ, he has the FBI. I would have liked to have seen this Jeffrey Epstein Act pass when Donald Trump doesn't have so much control over the people who are giving us the information. Imagine if this act was passed when you had a fair DOJ. The DOJ is not supposed to be attached to the president. It's supposed to be completely separate. So should the Fed, so should the FBI, but that's not how Donald Trump is running his administration. So I'm happy that Bill and Hillary are going to talk, and I hope they tell us the truth, and I hope we find whoever is guilty. But I just think that this is a distraction to Donald Trump and his administration. Just my 2 cents. All right, let's go on to Bad Bunny, who is causing a lot of division amongst the NFL. I'm surprised by this, but it's 2026. I'm not surprised anymore. Bad Bunny causes NFL division as nearly half of the NFL players reject his Super Bowl halftime show. I can't remember a time when the country was this divided. It's just crazy. We can't even have a halftime show. A new player poll is fueling debate ahead of the Super Bowl halftime show, with mixed feelings inside the locker room about Bad Bunny headlining. According to a survey from The Athletic, 41.4% of NFL players said they did not like the rapper being chosen. I don't even know who Bad Bunny is, an anonymous offensive NFC player said. I always think it should be an American. I think they are trying too hard with this international stuff. Yo, he's from Puerto Rico. He's American. I just don't understand the ignorance. You can have an opinion, but ignorance is not an excuse. Still, other people supported the move. America is based on diversity. America was built on immigration. It's not immigration, but okay. I like it. I like the choice, said an NFC defensive player. One player called it a smart business decision, noting Bad Bunny's global streaming dominance and adding good for ratings. Another kept it simple. Heck yeah, it's going to be a good time. The poll also reveals Michael Jackson as a dream performer, while Donald Trump labeled the choice absolutely ridiculous. Crazy. Like I said, this is crazy. I mean, this is America. Who cares who's performing? As long as I feel for me, as long as they deserve. The Super Bowl halftime show has always been reserved for the best of the best. It's the biggest stage. It's music. And if you love music, it's international. I understand this is an American league, but there has been many artists that have performed on the stage that are not American. Rihanna being one of them, okay? And I could go on and on and on, but I won't. Let's go over to a Donald Trump loss because he was blocked. Judge blocks Trump from ending temporary protective status of more than 350 Haitian immigrants. Sac passe. A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from ending temporary protective status of up to 350,000 Haitians, a status that allows them to legally live and work in the United States amid turmoil in their homeland. The judge, a Biden appointee, issued a temporary stay that prevents Kristi Noem, the U.S. Homeland Security Secretary, from implementing her decision to move the status known as TPS, which was scheduled to expire on Tuesday. That's a win. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. A win is a win. I don't think Donald Trump is going to take this lightly sitting down, but hey, a win is a win. And I think that it's to do a sweeping, like, just because you come from this country, just because you're Somalian, like, that is not fair. I do know and I respect the people that voted for Donald Trump based on immigration. There has been an immigration problem in the United States of America for years and decades. It definitely needed to be fixed. Like I always say, I give Donald Trump credit for highlighting the issue, campaigning on it. It was a smart move. He focused on the economy and immigration, and it worked. And but I just don't like the way he's going about it. And this kind of sweeping policy, just blocking people, ending temporary status, I think is unfair. So that's just my 2 cents. All right, let's go over to Don Lemon. Don Lemon, my colleague and a YouTuber. Don Lemon spoke to Jimmy Kimmel. And as you all know, Don Lemon was arrested Friday morning for going into the church and documenting being a journalist. I do know from just how it reported this on Friday, just my own comment section is very mixed. Some of you think that he is guilty. Some of you think that he is not guilty. Respect everyone's decision. We'll let the courts decide. 3 judges already said there's not enough evidence to even arrest them. But of course, the Trump administration, they know how to, bob and weave, and they were able to get a grand jury together. And the grand jury said, yes, you have enough to convict him. So he was arrested. Now, for the first time, we were able to hear some details about Don Lemon. And just before I tell you the details, I just want to let you guys know that I will be in Minnesota February the 9th, and I will be covering the Don Lemon trial. I want to go and support him as a content creator and as a journalist. Again, like I said, doesn't matter the side of the aisle you're on. This is still just content creating and the First Amendment. So I will be there, just like at the Diddy trial. I'll be there covering, giving you guys the latest. So make sure you stay for that. And I'll be giving you guys some lives on Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to go to Renee Good's site. I'm going to go to Alex Purdy and also give you guys a feeling of what Minnesota is like. All right. So make sure you stay tuned for that. All right. So Don Lemon, one of the highlights of the Don Lemon interview was he said that his lawyer contacted Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, FBI, etc. And he said, we understand that you guys are looking into this case. We all know that Nicki Minaj was one of the first ones that said, yo, arrest them. And and even Donald Trump retweeted somebody that said he should be arrested. And Don Lemon said, look, if you decide to arrest me in the next couple of days, just let me know and I will turn myself in. Donald Trump was awarded that same privilege. It has been granted to people multiple times. Hey, we would like to charge you. Do you want us to come and get you? You want to turn yourself in? Don said, I'll turn myself in. Guess what? They did not allow him. They did not answer him, and they arrested him in LA in the middle of the night with 12 to 15 agents, he said. So that is just more proof to show that this is not just about Don Lemon potentially breaking the law. Put that aside. Why not let him turn himself in? They wanted to make a spectacle of him. It's backfiring now because Don Lemon is more popular than ever. His YouTube channel is skyrocketing. Great for new media. But I don't think they thought this through, but they purposely wanted to embarrass him. Don also said that he did not get his one phone call. Everybody knows at the time you're arrested, you're supposed to get your one phone call. He said the only reason why people knew about it is, so he was in the elevator going to go upstairs, and then he felt like somebody come like around him, and they knocked off his glasses and not tackled him, but they're kind of like roughed him up a little bit. And he said that he was trying to call his lawyer with his Apple Watch because they wouldn't let him use his phone. So he said he tried to use his Apple Watch. The phone rang, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning. His lawyer didn't answer it. He said he tried to call his husband also, but he didn't answer because he was sleeping. And he said that, it's only when he was handcuffed and the handcuffs were a little too tight and it was kind of like hurting him. He said he had a diamond bracelet on, and he told an FBI agent, not ICE or Border Patrol. It was after they handed him off. It was an FBI agent. And he asked the FBI agent, hey, can you take off my bracelet? And it's expensive. Can you go upstairs? I'm in room, blah, 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 blah. And can you give it to my husband? And it was only because of that FBI agent that took his bracelet upstairs to give it to his husband. His husband found out that he was getting arrested, and then, of course, called his lawyer, and then the whole world knew about it. He just wanted us to know that not all of them were bad on the scene, that the FBI was pretty fair with him, but ICE and Border Patrol were not so nice. My takeaway from the interview was Don handled himself perfectly during this interview. Of course, he took a shot, once or twice at Trump, but Kimmel would ask him questions. He stuck to the point. He answered appropriately. He said there's things that he cannot talk about because he's going through a court case. Like, he cannot talk about Georgia Fort, the other journalist who was arrested. He didn't sway. He wasn't there trying to big himself up. He wasn't there trying to do anything but just tell us what happened. Tell us he's looking forward to his day in court. And then Jimmy Kimmel said, hey, make sure you try to support Don Lemon as much as you can. And that is when he said, thank you very much. He's like, yes, this is my livelihood. I'm no longer with Legacy Media. Please follow me on YouTube, subscription, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe, or whatever. He didn't say that. Jimmy said that, and he finished it off. I thought it was very classy, very well done, and it gives me hope that Don is going to take this moment and ride with it. And he is just getting the point across that he feels like he has his right to a First Amendment, and he just wants to do good journalism. And as a YouTuber and as somebody who wants to always try to bring you guys the latest stories and be factual and be accurate and try to build a platform, I really, really felt this interview, and I really felt Don, and that's exactly why I'm going to go support him in Minnesota, February the 9th. So I hope you guys will tune in and join me live on, did I say? Yeah, February the 9th. Okay, so shout out to Don. Okay, now we're going to go to a video. I found this content creator's video where he's talking about Epstein maybe being alive. Check this out.
The Epstein files contain a viral 4chan post from an anonymous individual who claims they witnessed seeing Epstein wheelchaired out of his cell on the night he passed away. Here's the 4chan post, and as you can see, it was uploaded the morning Epstein passed away. It says, not saying anything after this. Please don't try to dox me, but last night after the 4:15 count, they took him medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse said they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not do releases on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a himself. Here's the thing, the trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I am shaking right now, but I think they might have switched him out. Now take a look at the numbers up top right there. As you can see, the exact same post, word for word, was uploaded with the Epstein files. The numbers right there are the exact same as well. The SDNY took this post very seriously. They opened up an investigation to find out who the guy was that made it a day after it was posted. He's been identified as Roberto Grijalva, an MCC officer who worked at the jail Epstein passed away in. His name was revealed in his banking records as part of the SDNY's grand jury filing. His name also appears in other Epstein files involving interviews relating to this prison, but it's been confirmed he worked there when Epstein passed away. Separately, and this part is 100% confirmed, Epstein's body was removed from his cell and taken to a hospital. This means crime scene investigators and the medical examiner did not examine the body in place.
Yo, like that's a lot of details and a lot of facts. Now, I don't want to sit down here and speculate if he's alive, because that would be like the biggest thing to like happen in, I don't know, the last century. But it does lead to some questions. I will say that, and I really would not put it past the people who have been allowing Jeffrey Epstein to get away for this long. And he has so many powerful people and so much dirt on so many powerful people. And they had said that, he had cameras in every single corner of the bathroom, nooks and crannies. So is it possible? I think it is possible because he has so much dirt on the most powerful people in the world. I think this is possible and it could happen. So let's now move on to Serena Williams. Serena Williams put out a picture today, and she took it down. And it's gone viral. A lot of people are talking about it. I made a video. Take a listen.
Serena, why? Why? Serena Williams has recently posted. Serena, why? Why? Serena Williams has recently posted and now deleted this picture to her stories after the internet ran wild. Serena has made it very clear that she's doing this for health reasons, so I stand behind her. But one of the main reasons why especially black women loved Serena Williams is because she represented the everyday American black woman. Y'all remember when this picture went viral? Puma stock raised up so much, Nike came and offered her a multi-million-dollar lifetime deal. So while I still support Serena, especially if this is for health reasons, I understand the online shock because this is a Serena we're used to. Support all women, support all bodies.
Yeah, so I just pretty much summed it up right there. Anytime somebody is going to go through that much of a change, you're going to be like, yo, you made a whole career of, as this person. And of course, now everything that's going on with, what are they called again? Ozempic and all of that stuff. And yeah, it is shocking. And I understand from a woman's perspective that identified with Serena, black women. I totally get that. I've told you guys repeatedly, my mom is like the biggest Serena Williams fan. So is my sister, okay? And I told you guys, I think 2 weeks ago, that she was on a talk show and they were like, hey, we saw that you entered something. Could it mean that you're trying for a comeback? And maybe this is part of her comeback. Ultimately, she has said she's doing this for health reasons. So I feel like we should continue to support Serena for that reason alone, okay? Somebody said in my comments, first Serena Williams, first it was, who was it? Vanessa Williams and now Serena, but Vanessa also said too, it was because she was going through menopause and everything like that. So I'm going to always support women and trust women and support every different variation of women. Y'all know how I get down already, okay? So let's now jump back to politics. I heard this interview today that kind of just pissed me off. I want to share it with you guys. Deputy AG and Trump's personal attorney, Todd Blanche, is asked directly if anybody who had on Epstein's will be prosecuted. And his response was, it's not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. Now, I understand the line, okay? And I just don't think that this is the type of verbiage the deputy AG should be using. I don't feel like there is enough condemnation when it comes to Epstein. And because he's Donald Trump's former lawyer and because he's part of the administration, it's like, like we just because someone's name is in there, and like I said, I get it. I just said that to somebody the other day too. Like, just because somebody said an email or even said it about Elon Musk, to be fair, Elon Musk, the video I played for yesterday, he was literally like begging to come to Epstein's house, come to Epstein's parties. And same thing like with Diddy parties. Does that mean he broke the law at those parties? No. Does it mean that what Epstein was involved with, that he went to those parties? No. But it just doesn't come across to me it's not the right language to use from a deputy AG. That's something that you should say in a barbershop. But again, this is what upsets me about the fact that this Epstein Transparency Act was passed now with this administration, because Donald Trump is at the head of it. And I heard something today that somebody said Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files more than Jesus's name is in the Bible. Let that sink into your head. That's crazy work. All right. Two more things. Elon Musk has become the first person to be worth $800 billion. I don't know. I feel like every month he breaks a new record. It was first person to reach $500 billion, then 6, 7, or I don't know who makes $400 or $300 billion in the span of like 2 months, but we know that Elon Musk has this new contract that is going to fast track him to be a trillionaire. He's making money off of making his shareholders money. I can't say anything about it, but the world's richest man repeatedly emailing Jeffrey Epstein saying, I can't wait for my kids to leave after Christmas, and I want to come to your island to party, and I don't want to have a peaceful party. It's gross. All right, last thing in quick news, and I'm coming over to the comment section, is Sheri Shepherd and Kelly Clarkson's talk show have both been are both coming to an end. They've both been canceled. Kelly Clarkson says that she's stepping away to help with her family. Her ex-husband is not sick. Sheri Shepherd, people are kind of a little mixed at this, saying Sheri had good ratings, but she really wasn't making that much money for the networks. And there's talk that Jennifer Hudson's show might get canceled too. And while I support anybody who's in the entertainment industry, any sort of content creators, I'll say the same thing I always say every time I talk about every show getting canceled that's on legacy TV. It's not their fault. It's the way the world is going. We're going to new media. People want to go over on YouTube. Don Lemon was at CNN for 16 years. Tucker Carlson was at Fox for I don't know however long. They're thriving over on YouTube. Look at people like Candace Owens, like 2, 3, 4 million views per episode on YouTube. They don't get that over on CNN. So, drilling back down to these older kind of talk shows this older kind of format and legacy TV, Stephen Colbert, et cetera, Jimmy Kimmel was just renewed just for 1 year. Legacy TV is tough. So sad to see them go, but it is where entertainment is going. Okay. All right. Coming over to talk to you guys in the comment section. Like I said, we're going to leave lesson of the day and all of that stuff after. I'm coming right over to talk to you guys right now. All right. As you know, good show. I think we had a good show. Thank you guys for hanging with me. I'm coming over into the comment section to talk to you guys right now. Before I do, I'll be right over there. Before I do, I have a very, very quick question to ask you guys. Is your computer, cell phone, or laptop vulnerable to data breaches? That is an indirect question. You don't really have to answer it. Yes, they are. All three of them. If you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trend-out-loud to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent. And they make billions of dollars selling it to markers, scammers, and even stalkers. That's why I recommend today's sponsor to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. Real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information gets leaked, a secure VPN, antivirus, password. They also have US-based round-the-clock customer service in the event that anything should ever go wrong, or also includes, not offers, includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Go to my first link below, Aura, and it is free for 14 days. Here is a QR code. You take your phone out and your camera and just follow that link. It is absolutely free. If you're tired of spam phone calls, text messages with weird links, or take all your information and keep you safe online, okay? Also, right before we get to comments, I just want to remind you guys, while we're on air, people have always asked, hey, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? The best way, if you want to give back to the show, is through a super chat while we're on live, or a super thanks. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
And do not forget to sign up for the Trent Out Loud membership. There's a join button above me, or you'll see like a membership tab on YouTube, okay? All right, let's come over to the comment section. Kim is in the building. Oh, no, actually, no, sorry. To be fair, the first one was ID says Trent is the man speaking the truth. Love that, love that. Crystal could be driving right now, though. Okay, I don't know. Oh, oops. Wow, I didn't go all the way to the top. Sorry. Let's start back up from the top. All right. Nick, I think it's Nick, said, hey, Trent, what up? Mystery says, what up, Trent? What's going on? Kim, what's going on? Mystery streaming from the UK. Kim says, let's go. Blessings. What up? Paul says, hey, Trent, how's it going? Hey, Minerva says, hey, Trent, I finally started a live show from the beginning. What up, Minerva? Out Louder from New York, they gave me a painting, held a place for me when I was live from the Diddy trial. Shout out to Minerva. Michi says, I believe Epstein is still alive, although it has been reported that he's not. All right. I'm still on the fence about that, but I think it's definitely possible. Natasha says, hey, Trent. Hey, Natasha. What up? What's going on? Kim is saying hi to Natasha. Pam says, Jay-Z being in the Epstein files is no surprise. Crystal says, what up, Trent? My fellow Trent Angels and the Out Louders. Let's go. Blocked said CNN Comey's new network. Okay. Tara said they need to release all the Epstein files. Apparently, they couldn't scrub Trump out of the remaining files. Trust me, I know. There's like, what, 3? They said like 3 million more, or maybe 6 million more. It's crazy. John says, yo, this is creepy. Dude is wild. The other person says, Epstein has his good points too. Really? Hey, respect your opinion. Zell, I think, says Epstein looks like the guy on the $20 bill. Mystery says, I'm having internet trouble tonight. I hope I'm able to stream the show. Epstein is a rare find. That's Nollins. Terry says, Jeffrey Epstein was disgusting. That sore on his mouth is just, I know, huh? It's so gross. So gross. Natasha said, where's Crystal? Crystal's there. I'm not sure. I see that she was online a couple of minutes ago on Instagram. Crystal says, come on. We all know that the loyal Trump supporters are going to say that was AI. There is nothing that could change their minds. Michael says, Jay-Z is another morally failed person. Nolan says, while the Prez is challenging Trevor Noah, it was brought to my attention that Noah and the network can request all files that Trump is associated with. That opens up a bigger can of worms. Wow, crazy. Kim is saying hi to Nolans. Nick says 100. Nature Boy says Jay has nothing to do with that ish. Same as Chris Tucker. I have a Chris Tucker video of my post that somebody sent me. Alex said exactly. ID says Trent is the man speaking the truth. Thank you, ID. Crystal could be driving right now, though. No, Crystal's here. Crystal's here. Baby Doll Black says, but he's in the list. So Alex says that could help all the innocent ones. Whatever says, they are financially secure for life. Alex says they act like the people trust the government. Facts. Jay-Z made a deal with Weinstein decades ago, allegedly. Super sass. Diego says Jay-Z is a beast. Baby Doll Black says, and the Carters were sitting at the table with those conservatives. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Ivanka Trump dinner. M. Morgan, I think. Why to investigate him? Just put his name to screw another black person. Diego says, I'm sick. Okay, I'm not right saying that. Nature said, I'm sure Jay is not hurting for money. It's giving criminal. It's giving worse than Diddy. It's crazy. Helen says, Jay is dirtier than a toilet. Sarah says, I don't understand why Beyonce stays with him. They're saying they're worth $3.5 billion. How? They're having money problems. Because you could be cash poor, but worth rich. So your money could be like in buildings and your money could be in assets that are immovable. So you could be worth $1 billion, but your actual cash flow is not, there is none. And you don't want to, sell a building, or you don't want to, cash out some investments that are doing well because you don't have cash. So that's why they remortgage their home. And for example, Kanye West was worth $4 billion. As soon as he lost that Adidas contract, his value went down. The Yeezy value went down. Everything's like by a multiple, right? So he lost that contract. He went from $4 billion to $400 million, which is still a lot of money. But when you hear that $3-4 billion, it's on a multiple. It's based on a valuation. So it's not really actual money. It's just worth. Baby Doll Back says that's Beyonce money. Yes, Beyonce is more cash rich because her wealth comes from her touring and her music. So she gets money, where Jay-Z has companies. So his companies are worth. That's why Elon Musk is worth $800 billion. His stock could go down, and tomorrow he's worth $700 billion. It's not actual money. It's his stock value and stock options. His alleged son, Ramir, is what Karen said. Helen says, Trent, you need to be careful. Speaking on Rock Nation, I'm good. Thank you, though, Helen. Somebody says Jay-Z is the... Wow, Diego, chill with the verbiage, please. Yeah, gosh, Diego, I had to skip that. Nala says, hey, Kim, Natasha. Don't know where Crystal is. Can you guys not see Crystal? Crystal's been commenting. Nature Boy said... it's all talk. People just want to see drama happen to people that think they're too cool or untouchable. I agree with that. FBI tip line, hell, that's bad enough. Helen said that. Spartacus. Diddy didn't do nothing wrong. Okay, that's crazy. We all saw the Cassie videotape. You can't say that. Helen said, I hate to say it, but Jaguar Wright was the first person to speak on Jay. Well, that's what I thought too, till I learned this other lady here, Liz Corkin. Check out the Tasha K video. She apparently was the first one, but yes, Jaguar Wright definitely made it popular on YouTube. Serena said, happy Tuesday, handsome. Thank you, Serena. Happy Tuesday. Helen said, I heard NFL unfollowed him as well. Yes, that hasn't been confirmed. Oh yeah, Beyonce is leaving him, fingers crossed, because she can barely start all over, because she could definitely start all over with no problems. That's from Kim. Somebody said Joanna said he looks evil. Pa says Jay-Z is 100 times worse than Diddy. People say that he's worse than Diddy, just smarter. Serena looks better thick, Nollins said. You guys are already on to Serena? That was early. Somebody said the NFL. I have to stop saying so much. At work right now, but I'm gonna pull up with my crew for the next stream. Add me on Discord. My Discord name is whatever. Thank you. My question with Jay-Z is, are these accusations legit? From what I read, it's only speculative. Truth to me is more important than public speculative. Listen, every time I have talked about it, I have said what is the truth, that it's not only is just speculative, but it has not been investigated. It's not charged. It's just somebody that called in and said it. But that doesn't mean it's not true, right? I know anybody can call and say anything, but the truth is that we don't know if it's true. Chris says it's fine. BH says Beyonce about to divorce. Helen said hell yeah to Pa. Jay definitely. Papa, I totally agree with you. 50 been snitching on everybody. Definitely 50 been snitching. Nah, he should go. It would be worse if he didn't go. You're talking about the Super Bowl. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's tough, man. If he gets booed. I heard that Jay-Z will not be at the Super Bowl. Jay-Z and family are supposed to be out of the country. Kim, you heard? Where did you hear that? I want to know if it's. I know people are saying it online, but I want to know if it's been like confirmed somewhere. Everyone knows Chris Brown should be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. I would love it, but I really don't think it will ever happen. BJ says, "What did Jay-Z and Beyonce do?" Jay been. The bridge side says. Again, this plays more into the hunting and speculation compared to Diddy trial where there was actual evidence. Let's not get into Diddy. Helen says, Trent, you're absolutely right. Thank you, Helen. Robert says, Jay said in the 90s, excuse me. Woo! I don't know why I always yawn when I read these comments. It's crazy. If I got... Okay, I'm not going to read that. All Kanye wanted was for North and West to have a real sister relationship. Okay, that's not so bad. Sorry, I didn't know where you're going with that. Serena says Jay-Z is coward. Jay-Z, take the DNA test. Facts, but he can't because if it comes out, he's going to be in more trouble. Jay-Z was recently in the Bay Area working with L.A. Russell, the rapper from something. Excuse me, sorry for yawning, guys. Missy says, everybody unfollow Jay-Z, what the hell? Kim said, Helen, definitely agree with that. Chris Brown should be headlining the Super Bowl. Go, Kim. ID says, these people live lavish lives and forget about rainy days. Facts. Hey, Trent, what up? That's Emily. What up, Emily? Helen says, I believe Jay was the candy man for the celebrities. Jeez. Trafficking is they all have I just got a super chat, I think. Hold on. How do I put this super chat on? Hey. I should be able to I'll get to the super chat. I see the super chat, Citizen Kane. Thank you. I'll get to it soon. I don't know why I just can't highlight it right now, but I will get to it. Somebody said Beyonce waited too long to separate. Instead, she's knowing most everything. Another person, Mike said Trump. Hey, thanks for your comments. Karen says Jaguar Wright says Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. Yep. The bright side says my real question is not famous people, but all the politicians that aren't named, and why haven't we gotten them? Excuse me, guys. Sorry for yawning. The other half of the documents, facts. I hope we do get the rest of it. Crystal says, oh, damn, Trent, you're right. The Carters are in a lose-lose situation with the Super Bowl. While karma is a B, they brought it amongst themselves. Facts. Jazzy stated Diddy was not his friend. Always digging two holes. Somebody applauded thing. Nolan says, Dag Trent, you serving tea. The block is hot. Thank you, Nolans. Wow, Jay-Z got some explaining to do, Edward said. I'm so sorry for yawning, guys. Sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, bro. Torres de Locke said the nastiest man in the Epstein files is the U.S. president. But hey, shift the focus to Jay. Shaking my head. We have definitely talked about Trump in those Epstein files here. I don't know about anywhere else. Nolan says birds of a feather flock together. Guess you have to have Harvey or Diddy as a friend to be successful in Hollywood. Once I start yawning, it's like done. I'm gonna start bringing water. I think it's like after an hour. Like I'm gonna start bringing water with me to like wake me up. And it's also too like I do the show and I'm so hype, and now it's like, all right, let me just come and chill with you guys. And I feel like my body just gets like, all right, let's chill. Because I'm not even really that tired. Mike says you can literally say the name about 100 others. Kim says yes, Nolans. Facts Torrizi. He is sizzling today. Hey, thank you guys. Papa says Jay-Z, R. Kelly, Weinstein, Epstein, and Diddy are all business partners. It's crazy. Karen says Weinstein is the biggest sleazebag. Oprah's buddy. Oprah is very questionable. That's why DMX didn't F with any of them. It's true. Call me Vay said, okay, what I miss. What did Jay-Z do? Sorry, guys. KD something Kidden says oh wow, the Clintons are the dirtiest. If you take them to court, you're hold on. Jay and Harvey all in prison. Jay is not. Wow, it's strange. Diddy, R. Kelly, and Harvey Weinstein are all in prison, and Jay is not. Word on the street is that Jay is under federal investigation, not only fraud. Wow. We'll see if that happens. Imagine the Jay-Z trial. Wow, that would be insane. And Beyonce, like in the courtroom and stuff with Blue. Woo! I think it would be 10 times bigger than, well, not 10 times bigger than Diddy, but it would be big. All the respect. How much did the Trump administration pay to push this nonsense? Here we go with this ish. All about money as always. Y'all content creators just make ish up. Okay. Robert says, did that just say Trump pushed this? Okay. Helen says, word on the street is that Alex Shapiro has on his hands. User says, why the hell are you covering people who are engaged in smear tactics and nonsense? This is very clearly actors trying to cover up their involvement in Jeffrey Epstein. There's a lot of people that think that too. Papa says, Helen, there's no surprise there. BH says, if any content creator is making up stuff, they can and will get sued. So for their sake, I hope they're speaking the truth. Yeah, we're like, I can't talk about anybody else but me, but I know I talk about facts. I mentioned that it's FBI. It's, you could talk about stuff that's speculative. You just have to say it's speculative and not fact. We'll be fine. Yeah, they make up anything for views. Torre says, report on Trump's rape and allegations, and we'll keep the tabs on Jay-Z. That's simple. For what? Edward says, people love Jay-Z is upset that anybody to say anything negative about him. He put yourself out there, these scumbags. All right. Mystery says Jay-Z will never take that paternity test, and everybody is wondering why. Anyways, we know why, right? Helen says, don't forget Foxy Brown and Rihanna. Oh, did hear that feds are taking a long, hard look at Jay-Z. Yo, if Jay-Z ever gets arrested, wow. I think it will be bigger than Diddy just because Beyonce's attached. Like, Diddy was big, like 100%. It's a couple of things. It's because that Jane Doe case got brought up and then got thrown out. But the fact that it's, excuse me, guys. The fact that it's Beyonce's husband, I think makes it a bigger story than Diddy. Because y'all have heard this story with Diddy before. You know what I mean? People have, Diddy's a player. He's not married. Jay, the poster child for, black hip hop, love, marriage, this, whatever. Yo, that's crazy. Jay can't take that test. I can't read that, but that's why he can't take the test. We all know. The judge threw the case out. Kim says, at this point, I feel like everybody associated with the BS in Hollywood and the government Epstein files. It's crazy. Vance says, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and all the lefties. Thank you very much for your comment, Vance. Precious Love says, what exactly was he thanking Nikki and Trump for? Well, now I understand why Jay don't want to take the test. It's a shakedown. But how about just shut us all up? Somebody says now he got to pay Hove. Yep, $119,000. Miss Wanda was, would you leave Jay alone? Okay. Ramir need to sit down. Everybody hate Jay-Z. Bill and Hillary are evil. Gave dudes deals and made millions. Just look at their faces. The establishment is telling Jay-Z, I got judged before alleged rumor he's in England. You think Jay's really out the country? That's crazy work. Kim says, if I was Jay's alleged child and had to go through the BS that he's putting this man through, I would just have to go into black ops mode. I'm going to get that DNA at some point from him. That's hilarious, Kim. Craig said, I haven't seen not one picture of Jay with Epstein. That's true. The statement there earned my subscription. Okay, I don't know what, but I'm glad I earned your subscription. Thank you very much. Clintons want to do it publicly. Torres says, if Clinton goes down, best believe Trump also going down. America is doomed. ID says Jaguar Wright talked about everybody but herself. I'm sure she was with several of them. Clinton is going to plead the fifth, Kim says. I don't know how to pronounce. Brenda Harris says, hi, I like you, natural. Get everybody. Oh, sorry. Sorry. That's the dyslexia right there. Hi, I'm like you, neutral. Get everybody. Sorry about that. Trump is something. The DOJ has never been fair. That's true. Papa, these people at the top always get away with doing the worst things. That's what sucks about people in power. Mark Dixon says El Presidente is on a quest to attract the African-American voting bloc. If he can turn this said vote against the influence of Beyonce and Jay-Z through Nicki Minaj, he will. Integrity says, totally agree. Distraction from damage control and other fine political mischievousness. The Capitol says, that's why I can only deal with Trent to a certain point. He knows the Trinity going. He knows that. Oh, be quiet, man. This couple tells the truth. Somebody said he's not a rapper. I don't know why they called Bad Bunny a rapper either, but that's what it said. Crystal said, listen to all y'all Trent haters. You are welcome to have a healthy debate, but if you're not strong enough to hear the facts, just what it's fear the facts and just what to come on to talk ish and just want to come on to talk ish, then go find another show that will lie to you. Thank you, Crystal. Yo, Crystal and Kim are my bodyguards, yo. Makita and so is Mystery too. Every halftime show is the same controversy. Not really. Democrats launched. I don't know if I should read that. ID says Trump and them all are the same who went to Epstein's home and were the parents were, while the Jacqueline says, I'm sick and tired of pride being, yeah, but Puerto Rico don't pay income tax, so do they count? Well, yes, they do. Integrity says, if it's Republican or Democrat, don't vote for it. Just saying. Heavy Duty says the problem in the Super Bowl is number one America event in the country, pretty much, and they hire somebody who hates the country to perform at the event is due to ice out. Bad Bunny never said he hated the country. That's a stretch. Somebody again called me Dollar Tree Temu Drake. I love that. The Capital 7 says, Trent, stop trying to play with your audience like we're stupid. You know the issue is not anything to do with foreigners. It's all to do with the whole that people don't want to see. But look, what? Like, what is so bad about Bad Bunny? Just because he doesn't hate on people, just because he's supportive of people, he is in a relationship with a woman. So stop your nonsense. It's craziness. The autonomous player, I'm guessing, is Aaron Rodgers. EJ Johnson says, crazy how many people are saying Bad Bunny isn't American. Department of Education is gone. Thank you. Heavy Duty, yep, another corrupt George Santos judge injunction, and it will go higher, and they will lose like they have 156 times this year. Crystal says, Drake is the Team U trend. Get it right. Thank you, Crystal. Serene something Stormy. He has never said he hates the country. Thank you. Everybody who projects hates the country. This is crazy. He never said that. We need to get rugby in the States. Some Crystal said facts. Serena laughing at Capital 7. These people don't like people of color. I agree with you, Crystal. That's from Emily. E. Johnson said many jobs lost if TPS is gone. Thank God he's arrested. That's from James. Super Bowl needs to pay their performing arts top dollars for the halftime show and treat them with the same respect as they do the NFL players. That's a whole other conversation. They don't get paid because of how much money they make off of just building up their name. Somebody said he's guilty. EJ Johnson, very uneducated. Obama, with the full compliance of every police department in the country, deported 4 million people quietly and nobody knew about it. They won't comply, so ICE is on the arrest. Nobody has a problem with the deportation and doing things the proper way. It's the ICE and the harassment in the streets, and Donald Trump saying that he wants to go after the bad people, but not going after the bad people. Don will be on Jimmy Kimmel tonight, if I'm not mistaken. No, he was on last night. That's why I told you I watched the interview. Felicia said, good evening, Out Louders and Trent. Hope everybody had a great day. Good evening, Felicia. Heavy Duty says, it's really quite simple. They opened the border after they created sanctuary cities, created this problem, and now the people that are cleaning it up are being attacked. I think it's more the way they're going about doing it. How do you feel about ICE? Integrity says, how would you ever consider a collabo with Alex, whatever? Kim said, hi, Felicia. I would consider a collabo with anybody. I will talk to anybody at any time. Everybody says, notice nobody talking about the sorry, I cannot read that. Sorry. Whoop whoop. Trent will be covering in real time, but just be careful out there, Trent. I will, Crystal. Thank you. Heavy Duty said Trump associates weren't afforded the grace. They were. Gotta be careful what I'm reading here. You want all the laws that Don Lemon actually broke, which is about 11. Listen to the lawyer. It's not allegedly, it's on film because he's thank you for your comments, Heavy Duty. And we'll see and we'll let the courts decide. Google says Democrat Lund. Okay, no, we're not doing that. I don't think we can read that either. Heavy duty. Hold on. Heavy duty. I can't put on your comments till I see what you're saying. That was a joke now. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Nicki Minaj is on her very high horse these days. Girl, slow down. Your head has grown. Stop throwing stones. Okay, heavy duty again. Let me see. This is not the First Amendment right. He went into a place of worship and intimidated people and blocked them from leaving. Okay, heavy duty. I'm going to read this. This is not the First Amendment right. He went into a place of worship and intimidated people and blocked them from leaving. There are 3 crimes right there you want. Okay, so I broke this down at length and played the video. There's no video of Donald Trump. There's no video of Don Lemon intimidating people. That's just a lie until you show us some video proof. He was interviewing. There's a big difference of interviewing and intimidating. So that's just a straight up lie. He never blocked anybody. And the reason why and again, there's no proof of that. Show me a picture, show me a video. And if you do have one, I will completely say that you are right. The reason why you're saying that, heavy duty, is because you read the FACE Act and you see that the FACE Act allows them to enter the church, but they cannot block and they cannot intimidate. So now that you know that that's part of the law, you're saying he did that without proof. Please don't come on my show and try to play in my face, okay? There's no proof of that. And if you do, send it to me. May Don Lemon prevail. Hold on. I can't put heavy duties on right away because he says some stuff. People are, it's unbelievable. Dom says, white people are, okay, see, I'm not reading that. Sorry. Heavy duty, I'm not reading that. Mystery says, yes, I've been told many times that from good sources that Epstein is alive. BY says, he ain't, man, he's a sellout. Okay. Epstein is like a never-ending story. That's true. Tara says, he went in as a journalist. Trump should be locked up. He's a liar and needs to be impeached. Everyone in his cabinet should be arrested as well. Hola, buenas noches. Buenas noches. Hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Is that ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas is what's your name, right? Me llamo Trent. Kim says, hit that like button. Tara says, the entire Trump administration needs to go. Serena looks a mess. She's too skinny. Just because her husband owns part of the company doesn't mean she should allow herself to be taking those. Being too is not healthy. She's okay. I have to be careful what I say about that because YouTube will flag that. Oh, Kim, you're here. That's from Crystal. There's nothing wrong with partying with Epstein. His parties were, somebody said being mean. Hey, Crystal, we were wondering where you were. Hope all is well with you. Kim is here. She was looking for you. What up, Crystal? That's from Nolan's. Trent, I was using the mobile option and couldn't see all the comments. All right. Well, as long as you're here. All right. That's you guys just talking amongst each other. Hey, somebody said they can't hear me. I just switched over to live on a mobile live, and apparently nobody can see me. I couldn't see any of you. Extra sensitive, excuse me, please. From EJ. Watching from Palmer, Alaska. What up, Trent? What up, Alaska? That is Yvette Smith. What up, what up, what up, what up? Tara said, great show. Thank you, Tara. I love when you guys say I'm having a good show. Kim says, no, couldn't see none of your comments. Crystal, I saw all of them. I think I read all of them, but we're trying. Kim says, I apologize if I made you feel any type of way. Not my intention. Jade Johnson. Yvette, welcome from Alaska. Great show again tonight, Trent. Thank you very, very much. E. Johnson, my fault, Kim, just extra sensitive because you never know. I don't know what was the little mix up there, but I'm glad you guys were able to work it out. Citizen Kane said, what up, Trent? Catching live on my way home. What did I just miss? Hey, where is your Citizen Kane game? Okay, it's coming up, Citizen. Crystal says, hey, Citizen Kane. Kim says, hey, Citizen Kane. Then Crystal says, hey, Kim, y'all read my convo soon, and I understand that there's nothing wrong with the connection, just on a separate chat. All right, you guys are just saying hi to each other. Peep that Justin Bieber video. Yummy, it's creepy, speaking something. Doing much better because of all the love and well wishes from the awesome community. Seriously, thank you, Trent, and all of you for the well wishes. It made me so happy and touched my heart. I'm glad that you're feeling well, Crystal, and I'm glad that the Out Louders wishing you well helps you too. Jennifer says, so Epstein is basically Diddy. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but I see what you're saying. Citizen Kane says, make sure y'all smash that like button. Thank you. Mars says, hey T, just getting on here now. Busy day. Hello, Out Louders and T's Angels. What up, Mars? I think Nikki called in on Jay-Z. Not sure. I believe it because she's wilding out. Kim says, hey, Citizen, I thought the whole Justin Bieber performance was a bit weird considering the whole Diddy Epstein files. Glad you're feeling well, Crystal. All right, here we go. Citizen Kane with a super chat. Thank you very much, Citizen Kane. Really appreciate that very much. Kim is giving heart emojis. AJ Anderson says, I hope IMDb documents Jay-Z's 50th birthday. Okay, I don't know what this is here. Kim says, hey Minerva, I didn't see you. Hope all is well. Facts, Kim, on Justin Bieber. Somebody else is talking about that. Trent, stop the yawning, bro. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna bring a glass of water here next time. I don't know why. As soon as I stop, I don't know why, but I'm not even tired at all. Last week when I was yawning, I was tired. I'm not tired one bit. I hope IMDb. Why do you keep putting this IMDb here? Yawning again, Trent. I know Crystal was gonna call me out. I knew it. What was it? Emmy. What up, Emmy? Hey, Out Louders. What up, Emmy? What? Why does KJ Anderson keep putting in stuff about IMDb? What is that? Stop thinking about the gynecologist. Crystal's hilarious. Crystal, glad you feeling better, Queen. Vibes sent. Yo, we have such a good community here, man. It's amazing. Crystal says, thanks. Epstein, where are you hiding? Kim says, Trent is not realizing that when he starts reading the comments that his brain is thinking he's ready for bed. So he's going to start yawning. But the minute he stops reading the comments, he'll be fine. I love reading the comments. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm on such a high to do the show. And then I come and do the show and I'm talking. And then I just come over and it's just like, just want to chill with y'all. I feel like I'm just just on the couch, just sitting down here chilling with y'all. So I'm just like in a lax mood. I really think that's what it is. I'm chilling with my people, Crystal says, I think he needs to find a better way to read the comments because he's looking down too and crouching much. That's probably why he's yawning. You think so, Crystal? Yeah, maybe. Maybe if I get like a high screen and I'm like, hey, I don't know. Maybe we'll change the setup. Who knows? And it hurts my back this way too. People make stuff up to hear nothing about Jay. Okay. Super chat was for $10, bro. Salute. Thank you. Really appreciate you, Citizen Kane. Gene Deal, he on the run. Tina knows computer got hacked. Really? I don't believe that. Jay could not have his skeletons kept coming back without truth because it needs justice. It keeps knocking and he stays silent. Come on. ID says, please hit the Jamaican bell. Bah, 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 bah. Always at the end of your show. Bad belt trend. Thank you. Dance hall sound. Love it. Shout out all the way from the Bahamas. What up, what up, what up? Shout out, shout out, shout out. I love to see how global the show is. It's so cool. ME says, hi, Crystal. I hope you're feeling better. Trent, you may think about a desk with a monitor. You may feel less sleepy looking straight ahead. Maybe. I don't know. Something Rose says, if you're under 40, I see why you believe Jay-Z may be innocent. Crystal said, I got you, Trent. There is a not reading that. Kim says, can't remember off the top of my head where I heard that from, but I'll let you know. Okay, thank you, Kim. Person ME says, looking down will make you feel sleepy. Why? I didn't know that. You are sweet and your drowsiness is authentic and awful cute. Okay, well, at least if I'm yawning and my drowsiness is cute, then I'll just keep it up. Because I really don't want to change this setup, but I don't know. Anyways, we'll talk about it another time. Let me just perk up here. Come on. Let's go, Trent. Conscious Rose says, it was a push to show the NFL praises this fight over illegal immigration. It shows the size that they want us to follow. Mr. says, Trent, you're the only one that covers the entertainment news in full, and I love it. Thank you, Mystery. Kathy says, Jay-Z and they are wherever Ellen DeGeneres buying property. It's hilarious. Hey, Trent, another great show. I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Be safe out there. As always, peace and love. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Wait, Kim, I think there's still a question of the day, right? Yes. Well, lesson of the day. I'm way behind. My internet crashed, so I'll try to catch up. Hey, Kim, happy Tuesday. That's from ME. Don Lemon's lawsuit. Didn't they obstruct? They clearly say people left the church. TOL, the man. Bah, 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 bah. Thank you, Crystal. Trent, trying to speak Spanish. Yeah, my Spanish is horrible. The picture of the kid crying will do enough. We weren't in that church to know everything. Furthermore, these black journalists could... Okay, I'm not going to read that. Nolan says, well said, Trent. There is no proof. Follow the facts. Watch previous shows or CNN, and you will see Lemon did not break any laws. Emmy says, I was wondering why I couldn't see the comments. Crystal, thanks. Never thought about that. There were... Not going to write that. Crystal says, Trent, there was a disconnect from the mobile live. Really? And the other live. That sucks. Sorry about that. Prayers for Savannah's mom. I heard TMZ got like a letter or somebody emailed them about something. All right, Crystal. Yes, I'll look into that. I have like a menu here that tells me when something drops. On my end, nothing has dropped. Yesterday, Kick has dropped, but I will definitely look into it and I'll see after if it posts. I hope it does. Nolan says, great show. Thank you. Conscious Rose says Epstein is... Okay, I have to be very careful of what I read here on air. Okay, Crystal, that's what happened to my phone because I thought my internet crashed. Really? Did that crash for everybody? It's weird. I cannot believe Justin performed in his boxers. That was funny. Somebody says, Emmy said, hi, Trent. Citizen Kane, I just gave another $10. Yo, Citizen Kane, man. Yo. And it's red like my buzzer. Thank you, Citizen Kane. Really, really appreciate all that support, man. Thank you. Kim says, we love the haters because they help build a platform, so keep coming back. Hell yeah, keep coming around. Don't go nowhere. Trent, thanks for your informative show always. You're very, very welcome, ID. Nolans, I agree on Justin Bieber's performance. Shannon said, peace. What up, Shannon? Drink water, room temperature, try distilled water. Oh, you're saying for me being tired. Missy says, Trent, you can yawn as much as you like as long as you don't fall asleep on us. Definitely. Like I said, y'all are just family. So it's when I come to this part of the show. Prayers for Savannah's missing mother. Definitely. That's from Emily. Shannon says, I'm going to be reply gang, Trent. I hope your show keeps blowing up. I love seeing the success you're having. Thank you, Shannon. Cindy says, hi, Trent. I love your energy and you're so bubbly. Cindy New. Thank you, Cindy. I love having new subscribers here. ID says, remember that dance hall sound at the end of your show always? For sure. That's always going to be here. Kim the Radiant. Shannon, what up? Sounds like I wasn't the only one having internet problems today. Wow, that's really crazy. Sorry, guys. I will look into that. Citizen Kane says, bro, I'm rich as hell. All goody. All right. Well, keep it coming, man. Thank you for that. ID says, we all love you. Thank you very much, ID. Trent, the intellectual. Thank you very much, Shannon. ID says, you are the best. Jamaican flag. Citizen Kane's, I want to send Crystal some money. Citizen Kane loves Crystal, yo. Shout out to Citizen Kane. Shannon said, Kim, a heart. And Kim laughed at Citizen. All right, y'all sit tight. Thank you so much for all those comments. Like I said, we did a change up because I wanted to keep these subjects all together. Y'all sit tight. Do not go anywhere. Keep commenting. I will come back to those comments in a minute. We are going to go over now and we're going to do a quick lesson of the day. I'm going to do my sign out and then I'm going to come back to comments and then we will leave. Okay, let's go to lesson of the day. Okay, I feel like this is a really good lesson of the day. You guys got to listen carefully because it sounds a little off. She's saying it's better to heal in a relationship than healing by yourself because there's nothing there. When you're by yourself, it's kind of easy to get along, but you heal while you're by yourself and then you get into relationship and then relationship things happen and then it kind of gets you off kilter. So I had to listen to it a couple of times and I think it really makes sense. And I think it is a good lesson for us to learn. Take a listen.
Don't heal alone and then enter a relationship fully ready. We heal in relationships that give our nervous system something new to work with, like consistency and stability and emotional presence. A lot of people tell me that when they're single, they feel totally healed. And that's because when we're single, we get to manage our life the way that we want to. We get to do what we want to do, and we don't have anyone too close to us to trigger all our old stuff. And then we get into a relationship, and all our old patterns and fears come up. Fears of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of not being good enough. And that's not a bad sign. It is just a sign that you are human.
So I really, really like that. And I think what I take from it is, because I still agree that regardless of whatever it is, and y'all know I like to talk about relationship, job, and friendship. So, let's say you leave a job or you stop having a friendship with somebody or you break up with a partner. It is good to take some time to yourself to just recalibrate and, just get yourself acclimated. And I do think it's good to be alone. But sometimes when you are alone too long, you get too comfortable with that, or too comfortable without a job, or let's say like working from home or a friendship or whatever. So get yourself acclimated and then, get yourself acclimated with people or in a relationship. I thought it was a very good lesson to show y'all. Okay, that was a lesson of the day. Let's go to our sign out. All right, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you, actually, sorry. Oh my gosh, great show today. We always need some Jamaican air horns. Thank you guys. Thank you for checking out. Thank you for all the comments. A lot of people tuning in today. I think it was our second highest show. Comments are going crazy. So thank you very much for that. I hope you guys like the new segment. I think it is better to just keep all the conversations together. So whenever I'm done with quick news, we're going to do comments because all your comments are about these subjects. So instead of leaving the subject and then coming back And you guys are also too commenting, and some people have things to do. So I just want to make sure I get to read your comments. We'll put that in a package. We'll do a lesson of the day that's not about politics. That's not about entertainment or whatever. And then we'll do our sign outs. All right. So let me know in the comment section if you guys like this new setup. I really appreciate those comments, and I do not want you guys to wait too long for me to get to them. Okay. Now, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you guys of 3 quick things. One, while we are on live, like Citizen Kane, please feel free, if you want to give back to the show, to give us a super chat. Or also, after we post the video on YouTube, you can give us a super thanks. You'll see the button right underneath the video. Or sometimes you might have to press those 3 buttons in the comment section to bring up some more options. You'll see the thanks button. Also, please do not forget to sign up for the Trend Out Loud, the Out Loud membership. You'll see a join button or a membership tab somewhere here on YouTube. And thirdly, do not forget the first link below. Sign up for Aura. It's absolutely 100% free. I haven't met anybody yet that's clicked that link and told me Aura hasn't found some other information that is on the dark web. You do not want any of your information out there. You guys got to be safe. They can remove it all for free with a click of that link. All right. Also, before I let you go, I just want to remind you of 3 ways to stay up to date with the Trend Out Loud show. The first one is through podcast platforms. For those of you who like to listen to shows like this, head on over to any pod site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow, subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload 5 days a week because, you know, we be working hard out here for y'all, man. The second way is for people like me who like to watch video, watch their shows with video. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud. When you're on YouTube, though, I'm going to need you to do 6 things for me. Please, please, please. I'm working hard for you. The first 2 things are hit that subscribe and hit that like button, like a lot of these Out Louders been telling you on these lives, because we need to get the algorithming. All right. That is how you help the show. Now, the third thing I want you to do is, or I would like for you to do, please, is comment below the video. Of course, we love all the comments doing live. That's why we decided to go live. But after the video is posted, can you please leave us a comment? Because I want people to not feel like they have to only catch a live. We do want dialogue after the video is posted. Thank you, Kim, always putting in a comment. Always one of the first ones to comment after we post. Appreciate you. And of course, a couple others too. Appreciate you for that. Now, for those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation while you're watching the video, I don't want you to feel like you have any pressure. What you can do, though, is comment the country or city that you are watching the show from. When I go to sleep at night, the first thing I do when I'm feeling tired and yawning is I start looking at all the comments in the comment section. And I love to see how global this show is. Okay, so if you don't want to join in the conversation, that's cool. Let me know where you're watching from. Now, the fourth thing is, we are definitely trying to grow this channel. You hear Crystal say that, you hear Citizen Kane, you hear whatever, everybody talking about this community. And that's what we're about here. So if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying this community, please try to find like-minded people and share this channel with them. We want to be here for the next 10 or 15 years, 20 years. This is new media. So help share this channel if you're enjoying the content. The fifth thing, please sign up for the Trend Out Loud membership and also the super chat and super thanks. Shout out once again to Citizen Kane for the 2 super chats. Now, the third way to keep up to date with this show is new for 2026. We are streaming live every day at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We stream on Facebook. We stream on LinkedIn. We stream on YouTube. We have 2 streams on YouTube. We have a mobile view, and we also have a computer and TV view. Crystal and a few others had said that the connection was a little bad today. That's some issues with streaming. Just know the video will always be posted on YouTube after. So whatever you miss, you can go back on there, okay? We also stream on Twitch. We stream on Instagram, and we also stream on Kick. So make sure that you guys tune into one of those platforms if you're into streaming and watching live taping of shows. Now, for those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's also the same handle, Trend Out Loud. But I am the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow the Trend Out Loud show on IG. That is where I'm having so much fun these days. And the reason why is I'm able to talk to you guys outside of the show anytime in the day, whether it be on the weekends, in the morning, or in the middle of the night. All right, whatever there is breaking news, I jump on and I make a reel, give a 2-second take on it, and play the video. And also what's cool about there is that there's not as much, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not as much restrictions is the word I'm looking for. And I can play videos in its entirety. So make sure that you follow that page. I'm having a lot of fun there. And it's unscripted, unrehearsed. Me in my robe, sometimes I got a do-rag on. I'm in my bed. I'm in the street. I'm walking. So it's just really just fun. And y'all know I like to have a good time. So make sure you check me out there, okay? Instagram, The Trend Out Loud Show. Okay. Let me come over. I got 11 more comments, and then we're gonna say goodbye to you guys. Oh my gosh, I think we have another super chat. DB says, I see everything, no internet problems. That's really good. Thank you, ID, for letting me know. Crystal says, ha ha ha, citizen to citizen wanting to give Crystal some money. Oh, sorry, not ID, LD. Sorry, LD. LD in the house. Crystal said, I need money, laugh out loud. Maybe we could set up a super thanks for Crystal. LD says, have a blessed night. Thank you very much, LD. Sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. LD says, love JA. Hey, we got another super chat. Baby K63. Let's go. Always watching from Galveston, Texas. Keep up the great work. Thank you for that. I really want to come out to Texas. When I go into my YouTube analytics, I can see the states. We have mad views in Texas. Shout out to all the Out Louders in Texas, also in North Carolina too, but shout out to Texas. I've been there one time for a day modeling. I really want to come back. I want to do Houston, and I want to do Galveston, where you're from. And of course, I want to do, I think it's Austin, right? But yeah, thank you so much for that. And you need another. Thank you very much, Baby K, for that. Shannon says, I told my daughter, find the one while you're young, because you will want to make memories with them and grow old with them. Do it while you're young and in your prime, then find a good man and build. Totally agree with that. But you kind of have to have a, I don't know how young, but I totally agree with that. Cindy Smith said, Cindy, New York, Trent, you should write a book on relationships. I think it would be a good read, and we could learn a lot from you and your experiences. Yeah, so I wrote 2 books already, and I actually am writing, well, I have kind of like an intro of it. I'm actually writing a book on women, believe it or not, and how I think women and just females in general, just any female species, are and should be the first wonder of the world. And I will definitely talk about relationships in that book. But I'm just like, I've told you guys before, for people who like watch me every day, like I am just amazed by females, the fact that the intuition and the intuitiveness. And I think it's really because of like the ability to have children and do I just feel like just women are like, God's angels on this planet. And I want to write a book, and I want to talk to different people. I really want to talk to doctors and just find out like why women have this different connection to the earth that men do. And I will definitely loop in relationships there. So you're onto something. Next one is good night and blessings for all. That was Karen. And Shannon says, I will start communicating in comments. Thank you, Shannon. Oh, this is true. I agree that it's a good idea to do the inner healing alone, but then implement your healing into the relationship, as it will help both of you grow into each other. Totally agree with that, Crystal. Learn each other's weaknesses and goals so you can hold each other accountable. Crystal is going to write a page in my book, or a couple of pages in my book. Citizen Kane says, Trent, you got to cover Clinton's case in court tomorrow. Are they going in court tomorrow? Did they? Last I heard, they were still working on it, but yeah, of course, I'll definitely cover it. Shannon says, one of your young mechanics stopped and fixed my tailor, and it would make me feel so good when he was excited to tell me he bought his fiance, who was in his car a ring and they are getting married. Okay, I understand that. He said he took my advice and thanked me for telling him to propose. That's super cool. You're like Cupid over here, Shannon. But she said, good night, Trend, and all the out louders. Jeffrey says, you don't have a girl, though. Who said that? You don't have X for that, bro. Huh? I'm so confused. Krista says, I will write a book of relationships with you 100%. I promise. My life has been pretty juicy. Shannon says, you are definitely pro woman. We definitely need you guys in you guys to there is no me without you and no you without me. Agreed. And Citizen said, I agree, Trent. I absolutely love women. I think that's a great way to end off. Two men. Well, I hope you're saying you agree with me that you love women, not in that way, but the essence of women, how much I love my mom, my sister, my niece. So like I said, it just females in general. I'm enamored by females. It's amazing. So I hope you feel the same way, Citizen Kane. All right, we're gonna end it off with giving Citizen Kane the last comment. We will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow is Hump Day. I'm really, really excited. Y'all know, like, boop, boop. Hump Day gets me like pumped, and then it's like Thursday, and then we are off. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you guys very much for all the comments. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Turn Out Loud. Peace.